Welcome to C Programming, and this is Kumar Swami Dapa from SRRS Government Polytechnic College, Sircilla. And today we are going to learn with getting started with C Programming. Okay, now the learning outcomes of today's session is, so after completion of this session, a student will able to know how to learn C Programming, and different kinds of character sets available in C Programming. And then we are going to learn what are constants and different types of constants that are supported by C programming language. Okay, then we are going to learn at last about what is a variable and what are different types of variables. Okay, and the rules to form the variable names. Okay, so and at last we are going to learn how to declare and initialize these variables. Okay, so after completion of this session, a student must know have a full knowledge on what are variables and different kinds of variables, and how to write the names of the variables. While writing the names, what are the rules to be considered. Okay, and at the same time, what is the constant and different types of constants and the rules for forming those kinds of constants. Okay, so we are concentrating some little bit more on these constants and variables. Okay, now so let us start with C. Learning C is easier and simple to learn an English. Okay, learning C is as much simple as uh, with learning like an English language. Okay, so why? Because in the classical method of learning an English, so what we are following while learning an English? First of all, we are going to learn the alphabets used in the English language. Then we are learn to combine these alphabets to form several words, right? So first of all, initially we are learning the alphabets, and after learning the alphabets, we are combining those alphabets to form several words, right? And then these words are combined to form several sentences. Okay, so while forming these sentences, we are following some grammatical rules, right? So some present, past and future tenses, right? Different kinds of tenses, right? The rules are there. So by following those rules, we are going to form the sentences. Then after forming the sentences, we can combine several sentences to form uh, the paragraphs, right? So in the same way, we can learn we can learn C language so easily. So learn C is similar and easier, right? So instead of straight away learning how to write programs in C programming language, we must first know the different kinds of alphabets we are using in the uh, C programming, and the different kinds of numbers and special symbols that we are used in C programming. Okay, so we are not directly jumping into the programs, right? So first of all, we are going to learn what are the different kinds of alphabets, numbers and special symbols we are using in C programming. Okay, so here is a simple example diagram, pictorial representation. Here steps in learning English includes, so first of all we need to learn the alphabets, then we are forming several alphabets to form the words, and then we are combining several words to form sentences. While forming the sentence, we are following some rules, grammatical rules. Okay, right? Then after forming the sentences, we are going to form the paragraphs based on their relativeness, or based on their occurrence or occurrence in the sequence. Okay, in the similar way, if you want to learn the C programming language, the you must follow these steps, right? So first of all, you need to learn what are the alphabets we are using in C programming language, and what are the different types of digits we are using, numbers we are using in C programming language. Then you need to learn the different kinds of special symbols that are supported or used by the while writing the C programs. Okay, so in the learning in the English we are learning alphabets. In C programming we have to learn these alphabets, digits, and special symbols. So after learning these alphabets, digits, and special symbol, then you need to combine these alphabets, digits, and special symbols to form words, right? So in case of English, they are called words. They are calling it as we are calling it as words. Here we are calling it as based on their where so after combining these alphabets, digits, and special symbols, we can easily form different kinds of constants and variables and keywords. Okay, so you need to know the definitions, constants, variables, and keywords. Then you can form these things by combining these alphabets, digits, and special symbols. Okay, so after forming the constants, variables, and keywords, then you can combine these things to form an instruction. Okay, so after forming an instruction, we can combine several instructions to form a program. Okay, so here initially we are trying to learn the individual characters that are supported. Okay, so they are nothing but the alphabets, digits, and special symbols. And then we are trying to combine these alphabets, digits, and special symbols to form constant, variables, and keywords. Okay, so we are combining these things to form keywords and to form variables and to form constants. After forming the constants and variables and keywords, means so after learning what are constants and variables and keywords, then you can easily write the instructions in C program. Okay, so after writing the instruction, then you can combine several instructions which are related to form a program. Okay, so generally a program is nothing but a set of instructions, set of instructions. A program is nothing but a set of instructions to accomplish or to perform a specific task. Okay, now also what is meant by an instruction? An instruction is nothing but an individual piece of code, a single line of code. Okay, a single line of code or individual piece of code. Okay, now so coming to right, so instead of straight away learning the how to write the programs in C, we are first trying to learn what are the alphabets that are supported by C and what are the numbers and special symbols that are used in while writing the C program. Okay, sorry. Then by using them, means by using these alphabets and numbers and special symbols, we are going to form constants, variables, and keywords. Okay, so after by using those things, we are trying to form constants, variables, and keywords. Then after that, by combining these constants and variables and keywords, we are going to form an instruction, and then a group of instructions that would be combined later on to form a program. Okay, so in this way we are trying to learn how to write the C programs. Okay, now in this today's session we are trying to cover what are the character sets available in C programming, like what are alphabets and its categories and digits and special symbols that are used while writing the C program. Then what is meant by a constant and what is meant by a variable and how to form these constants, variables, and keywords. Okay, so we are trying to learn. Sorry, right? So here I am going to give a simple definition for what are constant. A constant is an entity. A constant is an entity that cannot be changed during the execution of the program. So for the entire program, the values that cannot be changed, we can call those values are constants. Okay. Then what is meant by a variable? Variable is an entity that can be changed during the execution of the program. So in the entire program, the value that can be altered or changed or modified in every in different at different lines of code at different instructions. Okay, so there we can call it as a variables. So variables are nothing but the entity that can be changed, that can be changeable. Okay, that can be changed during the execution of the program, so they are calling it as a variable. Then coming to keywords. So keywords are nothing but the somewhat we can simply call it as the reserved words. Okay, keywords are the reserved words. They are already having some special meaning. Okay, so these are the words which are having special meanings. The meaning of those words are already written in C by Dennis Rich. Okay, the meaning of those words that are already written by the Dennis Rich, so we can simply call it as a keyword, call it as keywords. Okay, so in C programming we have 32 keywords are there. Okay, okay, now so now we have a little bit idea about what is a constant and what is a variable and what is a keywords. Okay, so are you getting the point? Once again I am repeating the definition. Constants are the nothing but the entity that cannot be changed during the entire program. So from the beginning to ending, the value that cannot be changed, so those are constants. If it is changed, then we can call it as a variable. Okay, and keywords are nothing but the reserved words. Okay, they are the meaning of those words are already defined, so they are already predefined. Okay, so that definition will be given by the developer of the C program. Okay, so simply the Dennis Rich he gave the meaning of those words. Okay, next, so by combining these things we are going to form an instruction. While writing the instruction we need to follow several grammatical rules, right? So here from words to sentence while writing, so we are following some grammatical rules like tenses, right? And here also while combining these things, constants and variables and keywords to form an instruction, so you need to follow several things like every statement or every instruction of a C program must terminated with a semicolon. Sorry, so like that we are going to follow several rules that can be discussed in the later session. Okay, now, so first of all, we are going to learn the different kinds of character set that are supported by the C. Okay, the C character set. C is having a rich set of characters. C is having a rich set of character set. What it means? So C language supports more number of characters. Simply, what I can say is C language is going to support all the symbols and alphabets and numbers that are available on the keyboard. Okay, so simply what I can say is it is going to support all kinds of symbols, letters, alphabets, digits that are appearing on the keyboard. Okay, now a character denotes any alphabet or digit or special symbol used to represent some information. Okay, an individual character means that character may be an alphabet. So alphabets means it may be A to Z or smaller A to Z. Okay, larger A to Z or smaller A to Z. And that character may be a digit. So digits are 0 to 9. Maybe special symbols, something like at the rate, hash, right? So dot, comma, less than, greater than, okay, and some equal or somewhat cap, etc. So all the different special symbols. So these are the different special symbols. Okay, so anything an individual character, it may be an alphabet, it may be a digit, it may be a special symbol, we are calling it as a character. Okay, now the alphabets, numbers and the special symbols when properly combined to form constants, variables and keywords. Okay, so we are using these C character set to form variables, keywords and constants. Okay, so if you are having a full knowledge on the character set that is available in C programming that are supported by the sorry, so if you are having a full command on all the character set that are supported by C, then you can easily form variables, constants and keywords. Okay, so here coming to the alphabets, it supports capital A to capital Z and smaller a to smaller z and digits 0 to 9, so total 10 digits are there. And then special symbols includes cap, colon, exclamatory mark, at the rate, hash, percentile, cap, right? And so here this is the negation symbol and this is the cap symbol, right? And star, open parenthesis and closed parenthesis, underscore, minus, plus is equals to, divided by, backward slash, forward slash. Okay, backward and forward slash. So this is the forward slash and this is the backward slash. And curly braces, opening and closed curly braces, square brackets, opening and closed square brackets, colon, semicolon, double quote, single quote, less than, greater than, okay, comma, dot, question mark and forward slash. So here this is the backward slash and this is the uh, or pipe symbol. Okay, pipe symbol. Okay, so all these symbols are available on number keys, above the number keys. So you can display you can get those symbols by pressing the numbers along with the shift key on the keyboard. Okay, so these are the character set. So are you getting the point? So you can easily remember these character sets. Why? Because all these character sets are available, you can available on the keypad of the your computer or desktop or laptop. Okay, and now sorry, here heading is there, is the constant, right? So now we are going to learn what is a constant. Okay, a constant is an entity that doesn't change. So constant is a value that doesn't change. For example, pi. So what is the value of pi? It is always 3 point, uh, right, 22 by 7, right? 22 by 7. The pi value is always 22 by 7, some 3.14 something. Okay, so it doesn't change. The value of pi is fixed in India, in US or anywhere in the world. The value of pi that cannot be changed. Okay, so in the similar way, any entity that cannot be changed in the program during the execution of the program, then those entities we can simply call it as a constant. Okay, Then we have different types of C constants are available, primary constants and secondary constant. Okay, so C constants are divided into two categories, primary and secondary categories. Coming to the primary constants, integer constants, real constants and character constants are there. And coming to the secondary constants, arrays, pointers, structures, unions, enumerators, etc. So all these are the user defined constants. We can simply say user defined constant. So based on the number of data types it supports, or based on the number of constants it supports, those many number of data types are available in the any programming language. Okay, so if it is having a rich set of constants, rich categories of constant means, so it is having those many number of data types. Okay, so now let us discuss about the individual constant types. Now we are restricting ourselves to discuss with only primary constants, and we are not concentrating on these secondary constants. Why? Because these are the advanced concepts. At the time of discussion of arrays, pointers and structure, at that time we are going to discuss about those secondary constants. Okay, those type of constants in their respective session. Okay, now coming to the primary constant, so these are the basic constants that are supported. It includes integer, real constants or float constants, and character constant. So coming to the integer constant, so you need to follow several rules while constructing an integer constant. Okay, so while constructing an integer constant, you need to follow these things. What is an integer contains must have at least one digit. If you are calling this one as a digit, this one is an integer. Okay, integer constant, yes, we can call this one as an integer constant because it is having at least one digit. So what are the digits available in the character set? 0 to 9. So among the 0 to 9, so any digit we can call it as an integer constant. Okay, and the integer constant must not have a decimal point. If it is having something like this 1.5 means, so it is not an integer constant, it is a some another secondary float constant. Okay, fractional constant. Okay, so if it is having fractional dot symbol in the value means it is not a integer constant. It can be either positive or negative, means the digits 0 to 9 are combination of these digits 0 to 9. You can form any integer values 1, 10, okay, 11, 110, okay, some -5 and -2, 36 or -5, 36. So all these are integers. Okay, it may be the value of that particular integer may be either positive or negative. So based on this sign, so here minus sign is there before the number. Okay, so the value may be positive or negative, but if it is contains at least one digit and without any fractional values, then we can call those values are integer constant. If no sign precedes an integer constant, it assumed to be positive, right? So here in this case, for these three values, they are preceded with minus sign, and for these three values, they are not preceded with any sign like plus or minus. So in that case, we are treating these values as positive. Okay, if this sign is not present before the constant value, then we can say that they are positive. If the sign is available like minus, then we are calling it as a negative values. Okay, now no comma or blanks are allowed within an integer constant. If you are writing some 223 in this manner, 2 space 2 space 3 means, so it is not a integer constant. Here space is there. So 2 2 3 without any spaces, then we can call this is an integer constant. Okay, and at the same time do not allow the commas like 2000. So in normal days while writing the denomination of money, generally we are using the comma separator to separate between hundreds and thousands, okay, and thousands and lakhs, okay. So in that manner don't use the commas while writing the integer constant. So these are the valid constants, okay, these are the valid constants, and here these two are the minus negative integer values, and these two are the positive integer values, both are same, okay. Are you getting the point? So if the sign is preceded, then if it is minus it is negative, if it is plus it is positive, then there is no sign, by default those are positive values, okay. And no fractional dot symbol is allowed, fractional values are allowed in integer constants, okay. And it may be positive or negative. The range of integer constants allowable or supported by the C programming is -3 to 768 to 3 to 767, okay, -3 to 768 to 3 to 767. So here 0 is a constant, integer constant, okay, and there is no 0 with a negative symbol, there is no 0 with a negative symbol, okay. So always 0 is a positive symbol, okay. That's why in positive value we are having one number lesser compared with the negative one, okay. Are you getting the point? If you are writing the numbers from -3768 to 32767, then in those numbers the number of positive values are equal to number of negative values, but they are represented with this 3 to 767 for maximum positive value, and 768 is for negative values. Why? Because there is no 0 with a negative sign, okay. And next, coming to the real constants, real type of constants, okay. In the real type of constants, or we can simply call it as a float type constants, in the real type constant they are also called as float point constants. In the real type constant, that could be written in two forms, either in fractional form or in exponential form. So something like e power -1, okay, 2, or something like this. So these are the exponential form. Here we are using exponentiation to represent positive or negative fractional values. And the fractional form means something like 1.23. 1.23 is a fractional number, okay. So these type of constants we are calling it as a real constant. So while writing the real type of constants, you need to follow several rules, okay. So they are: a real constant must have at least one digit, a real constant must have at least one digit, and it must have a decimal point. So if it is having one digit, 1.0 something or 0.1 something, okay, like this, it must have the dot symbol decimal point, and at the same time at least one digits are there. So at least one means one or more digits must be present in the real constant. It could be either positive or negative, so it may be plus 1.0 or minus 1.0, both are real constants only, okay. And the default sign is positive. If you are not specifying any sign before the fractional real constant, then they are call it as a positive. No comma or blanks are allowed with the real constant, same as like integer, okay. And so these are the some of the examples for a real type of constants, okay. So all are valid constants, all are valid real type constants, okay. Plus 3 to 5.34. So here sign is displayed, and here there is no sign is displayed. So if there is no sign, by default it is positive one. And the this constant must have at least one digit, right? So here so many more than one digits are there, and we are using this dot operator, so we can say these are the real constants. And now Coming to the character constant, so rules for constructing the character constant includes, so first of all, a character constant is a single alphabet. The character constant is a single alphabet, or it may be a single digit, or it may be a single special symbol enclosed within single inverted commas. So enclosed within single inverted commas, we can simply call it as so these are the different character constant. So the character constant is a single character. It may be a digit, it may be an alphabet, it may be a special symbol. So it may be anything that are available on the character set, but that must be surrounded in between single quotes. Then we can call those are character constant. Okay, are you getting the point? So whatever the alphabets or whatever the characters that are surrounded in between the single quotes, we can call it as a character, but that must be a single one. And next, both inverted commas should point to the left. So both inverted commas should point to the left means, so here these are all wrong. So something like this. So these are A, 1, X, at the rate. So all these are valid character constants, right? For example, this A is surrounded between the single quote is valid character constant, whereas this A is not. Why? Because the single quotes surrounded with this A is not same at left and right side. Left side and right side of single quotes are not same. So here both the single quotes are same. Okay, a character constant is a single value. It may be an alphabet, it may be a special symbol, it may be a digit, but it must be a unique one, single one. Okay, only one character, and that character is also that must be surrounded in between the single quotes. Okay, the maximum length of a character constant can be one character only. Sorry, the maximum length of a character constant is one character only. So these are the different valid examples. A is there, I is there, 5 is there, and equal to symbol is there. Okay, and all these are surrounded in single quotes. Okay, so they are the perfect character constant. Now it's time to discuss about variables. So till now we have discussed about constant. Constants are the entities or values that cannot be changed. Okay, now coming to the variable, an entity that may vary during the program execution, we can call it as a variable. So these are the values that can be changed during the execution of the program. Sorry, during the execution of the program, the value of the things that can be changeable, then they are calling it as variable. A variable names are names given to locations in memory. So in a computer, the information is stored in a memory. Okay, so those memories are identified with the help of those memories divided into several locations, and individual locations are identified with the help of an address. Okay, memory location address. That address we cannot remember every time, so that's why the variable names are nothing but the names of those memory locations where we are storing the data. Okay, so variable names are the names given to the locations, memory locations, where on those locations we are going to store the values. These locations can contain integer, real, or character constant. Okay, in these locations we can store an integer constant value, we can also store real constant value, and we can also store character constant values. Okay, the computer memory is divided into several locations. Individual location is identified with the help of some address, some 2000. So means, so the memory location address is 2000, and for example 9000. So this is the location of 9000 address. In this way, the entire memory is divided into different blocks, and individual block or location is identified with the help of an address. So it is not easy to remember all these addresses. That's why if I want to store an integer variable constant 1 here, now that integer value can be retrieved and can be used by using a name called some x. Now this x is a variable that can accommodate or store value 1 at 9000 address. So now x is nothing but the names of these memory locations. Names of these memory locations. Okay, the variables are nothing but the names which are we are giving for memory location, and these variables can store any kind of data. It may be a constant value, it may be an integer constant, it may be a character constant, or it may be a fractional constant. Okay, and next, in any language, the type of variables that it can support depends on the type of constant that it can handle. So the capability of any programming language is purely depending on the number of types of variables that it can support, and C program, and that types of variables that can be that are supported by any programming language is depending on the number of or the types of constants that are supported. Okay, so here we have different types of constants, right? Integer constants, fractional constants, and then uh, character constant, sorry, and those constants are available in C, means, and the type of variables are also available. Okay, now so this is because the particular type of variable can hold only the same type of constant. Okay, if you want to store an integer constant, then that integer value must, the integer constant value must be stored in an integer variable only. So integer variable cannot accommodate some fractional values, fractional constants. So in the same way, a character constant value must store, a character type of variable must store only character values, the value character constant values. It cannot accommodate integer values. Okay, right. So now the rule for constructing different types of constants are different. Okay, the rules for constructing different types of constants are different, right? So the rule for constructing an integer means it must be an at least one digit. It may be anything. Okay, it may be anything, and it may or may not preceded with the sign. Okay, if it is positive, we are not preceded with any sign. If it is negative, then it is preceded with a minus symbol, and it should not contain any fractional values. So these are the main rules to construct an integer. Now coming to a fractional value, it must contain at least one digit and at least one dot symbol. Okay, and it may or may not have this sign symbol. Okay, so in this case, the rules for constructing character constants or integer constant and fractional constant, both are all are different to each other. Okay, now however, for constructing a variable names, so variable names, all types, the same set of rules applicable. So variable names are nothing but the names we are going to give for different memory locations. Okay, so A is the variable name, B is the variable name, and etc. Means A and B are the names of these memory locations. So for this location, the name of this particular location is A, and the name of this particular location is B. In that, we are going to store different types of constant values based on the type of this variables. If it is integer variable, then it can store only integer values, like that. Okay, for example, an integer variable can hold only integer constants, a real variable can hold only real constant, and a character variable can hold only a character constant. Are you getting the point? If you want to store a character constant, then that must be stored in character type variable. If you want to store an integer constant values, then for that integer constant you must have an integer variable. Okay, like that. Now, rules for constructing variable names. So while giving a name to any variable, that name must follow these kind of rules. So what are those? Means the number of alphabets or digits or underscores. So you can use any number of alphabets, digits and underscore, and the combination of these must be in between the length 1 to 31. The name of the variable length must, it may or may not contain from 1 to 31. Sorry. So the variable name must have at least one character, and it can support up to 31 characters. The length of the variable name is 1 to 31. And in this, from 1 to 31, you can write any length, or it's up to you. But while writing, you may use alphabets, digits, or and underscores. Okay, but other than this you cannot use. And some compilers allows variable names whose length is up to 247 characters. So it's depending on the platform, operating system, and 64-bit operating system, 32-bit operating system, and Linux, Unix operating system, like that. So it depending on the hardware configuration. Okay, now still it would be safer to stick on to the rule of 31 characters. So it is better to follow this rule. You can write the names of the variable, and the number of the length of those variable names must be less than or equals to 31 characters, are suitable or good practice. Now the first character of a variable name must be an alphabet or underscore, so it should not be a digit. The first letter of the variable name must be either an underscore or it may be any alphabet. And no commas or blanks are allowed within a variable name. Okay, a variable name should not contain commas or blanks. No special symbols other than underscore can be used in variable name. Okay, you can write the length of the variable name up to 31 characters, but among the 31 characters you can use any number of alphabets A to Z, and any number of underscore symbols, and any number of digits, 0 to 9 digits. But the thing is, the first letter must be an either underscore or character, alphabet A to Z, so it should not be digit. And after the first letter, remaining characters up to 31, so 31 minus 1 means 30, so the remaining 30 characters you can write any combination of these numbers, underscore and digits. Okay, so these are the some of the examples of variable names: sa underscore int, m underscore hre, pop underscore e underscore 89. All are valid. Why? Because the first letter must be an either alphabet or underscore. So here that condition is true. And the length of these characters is less than 31 characters. Okay, so that condition is also true. And the number of characters you can use anything in between A to Z and underscore and numbers, so all are satisfied. Okay, so these are valid variable names. Now these rules remain same for all types of primary and secondary variables. So here, as in the previous slides we have already discussed different kinds of constant. At that time primary constants are there and the secondary constants are there. In the same way, if it supports two kinds of character set means though, so this language is having two kinds of variables. So similarly, we have primary constants. So here we have primary variables, and there we have secondary constants. So here we have secondary variables. Okay. Now, C compiler is able to distinguish between the variable names by making it compulsory for you to declare the type of any variable name that you wish to use in the program. Sorry. So, C compiler is able to distinguish between the variable names by making it compulsory for you to declare the type of any variable name. So while writing the variable name, you must write the type of the variable so that it can accommodate only that type of constants only. Okay, so it can able to store on the memory location on the memory that kind of constants only. So if you are writing a variable name and the type of that particular variable name is an integer means it can accommodate only integer constants, means it can store only integer constant values only, it cannot store character constants or some fractional constants. Okay, the type declaration is done at the beginning of the program. So while writing the C program, you must declare the type of variables you are going to use at the beginning section, in the beginning section. Okay, beginning section of the program. So here SI is a variable, SI is a variable, and M underscore HRA is another variable. So you can use a comma to separate more than one variables of same type. So here SI and M underscore HRA both are of integer type variable. Sorry. So integer type variable means it can store only integer values. So here BAS basic salary, for example, BAS sal, this is the variable name. Of float type means it can store float type values. Code is a character type variable. Character type variable means it can store only single character. Okay, like that. Now, it is a good practice to exploit this enormous choice in naming variables by using meaningful variable names. So while writing the variable names, you must write in such a way that the meaning of those variables should be clear and sound. Okay. For example, here I can write the variable names as principal amount, rate of interest, and number of years is like this at least. Okay. But it cannot be write A, B, C. So that if another programmer is come and view your source code about calculate simple interest on some values. Okay, so for calculating the simple interest we must have uh, three things. So we need to know the principal amount, rate of interest, and number of years time. Okay, so this is the formula. Okay, right, simple interest is equals to PRT by 100. So you can able to calculate the simple interest after knowing all these three parameters, right? So you must know the uh, uh, principal principal amount and uh, rate of interest and duration, then only you can calculate. So while writing the variable names, you can write at least to P R T so that it is somewhat understandable. Then in else case you can use principal ROI, rate of interest, NOI, number of years, but you cannot write these A, B, C, X, Y, Z like this, so that those names are not understandable, they are not having the meaning. Okay. Now declaration of a variable. So while declaring the variable you must follow this syntax. So first write the data type, then write the variable name. Okay, here marks is a variable name of integer type means, so this marks can store only integer numbers. Attendance is a variable of float type, means it can accommodate or it can store only this float type of float constant values. Okay, are you getting the point? So int marks means in computer memory a 2 bytes of memory is reserved for this integer constant, to store the integer constant, and the name of that particular location name is marks. Okay, so this is the name of the memory location. In that memory location we are going to store some integer value. Okay, like this. And next, so initialization of variable. Initialization of a variable is nothing but giving some value or going to store some type that particular type of constant values in those variables. Means we are going to store some value on the memory. Okay, so that can be done in two ways. One is at the time of declaration, while declaring the variable with the help of this syntax, which is already discussed in the previous slide. So this is the syntax to declare a variable. While declaring the variable, you can directly write the values here. For example, into marks equals to 80 means um, 80 is the value is going to store here. So 80 is the value stored on the memory, where these 80 is stored, and that particular memory address is identified with the help of this name, simple name, marks. So marks is a variable of integer type, so it can store only integer constants. Okay, and you can also initialize the variable after declaring the variables. So you can initialize the values of the variables after declaration. Here first I am declaring the variable, then I am initializing the variable. Data type variable name means we are specifying which type of data in this particular variable we are going to store. Then here I am storing the value. Okay, so this is the constant value I am going to store in this variable. Okay, so here is an example. Int marks 99. 99 means, so 99 is an integer constant. So I want to store this 99 in computer memory. I want to store this 99 in computer memory. So as 99 is an integer constant, so that can be stored only integer type variable. So that's why I'm writing int. So int is a data type. It can store only integer constants. Okay, and marks, here marks is a variable of integer type, means under this marks we can store only integer numbers. Float attendance equals to 88.75. So attendance is the variable name of float type, it can store only float constants. Okay, attendance is the float or real type constant, it can store only fractional or real values. And this is same as this one. Here we are declaring a variable with the name marks of integer type. Here also I am declaring the variable marks with a type integer, and here I am directly storing 99 in this marks. Here after declaring the variable I am using one more statement to save this 99 on marks. Okay, in the similar way, float attendance is a variable of float type. Then I am trying to store this 88.78 fractional constant or float constant under variable name attendance. So attendance is already a float type, so it can store this 88.75 in computer memory. Okay, so in the computer memory where this 88.78 is stored, the address of that particular location can be easily identified with the help of a name. That name is nothing but the variable name, and here attendance is the name of the variable. Okay, so thank you. If you have any kind of query related to these theoretical concepts like constants and variables, okay, so you can ping me to kumarswamy.dapa@gmail.com. And today in this today's session we have completely the entire session is in theoretical mode, so we cannot go with a practical session. Okay, so thank you for your patience.